What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hosier here. This is WrestlePool's Night 2 coverage of WrestleMania. Man, I am tired. All right, yesterday was a long day. It was a lot of wrestling up till about 2:33 in the morning, watching everything I could possibly watch on night one of WrestleMania, listening to all the opinions, and it was a fun day. Yesterday, look, this weekend's always absolutely phenomenal. Totally looking forward to the chaos, the hopeful chaos that we get tonight. So we have a lot to cover. We're going to go through the entire card. We're going to kind of revisit some of the things from night one. My esteemed colleague and best friend Bear will be joining us at some point as the kickoff to night 2 on Peacock officially begins. And the new Then Now Together Forever intro video is amazing, and love the fact that it's Triple H on the montage speaking. But first, I guess we'll start with the Slammies this morning. And, you know, you're so used to such a unbelievable production from WWE, but it really felt like a high school audio-visual club produced the Slammies this morning. Kathy Kelly and Big E really looked dazed and confused on hosting the Slammies. And also, if you're going to host the Slammies and you're going to do this, you definitely want to have more people accept awards in person. You know, I guess it's tough, Cody winning 3 and whatnot. But we're definitely going to go through some of the awards because I do have some issues, and I also, you know, agree with some of the winners. But let's start with Match of the Year. And this one I'm a little disappointed, just the fact that and Drew touched on this when he won his Slammy. So you had Roman versus Sammy from Elimination Chamber. You had Flair and Rhea from WrestleMania 39. You had Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, which to me shouldn't have been there for Match of the Year. The Bunny entrance from Puerto Rico should have been in the entrance of the year for sure, because that was epic, Bunny's entrance. And then you had Gunther and Gable from a Monday Night Raw, which absolutely could have won. But where was the triple threat from WrestleMania 39? Where was Drew, Gunther, and Sheamus? Because that was the match of the weekend last year. Rhea and Charlotte, absolutely, probably number 2 on my list. But if you're going to put Charlotte and Rhea in for Match of the Year, you need that triple threat. You absolutely need that triple threat to be on for Match of the Year. And in my opinion, that was the Match of the Year. I don't think it was even close. I'd put the Gunther Gable match at number 2, to be honest with you. That was a classic on Monday Night Raw. So a little disappointed in the Match of the Year. I mean, look, yeah, I'm going to complain just for the sake of complaining because, you know, why not? It's WrestleMania season. It's WrestleMania Night 2. Let's complain a little bit, right? But Flair, Rhea, just watching the entrance video. Sorry, I'm going to be all over the place here, trying to get all in on night 2 of WrestleMania. Oh, that's loud. All right. So, yeah, Flair, Rhea with Match of the Year. I thought the triple threat, Drew, Gunther, Sheamus, should have been Match of the Year, or at least been nominated. And I'm curious as to why it wasn't. I know they say that the fans vote. So, Flair, Rhea, Match of the Year. The breakout star, they had Dragon Lee, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Pretty Deadly. Odd choice tag team for breakout star of the year. And Tiffany Stratton, LA Knight won. I mean, yeah, out of those, LA Knight had a rapid ascension this year, from Max Dupree to LA Knight. Yeah. And you can't really go wrong picking LA Knight. Jey Uso, in a much shorter time frame, has also been a breakout single star. But I guess you can make the case that Jey Uso. Oh, I have 1 second. Gonna quickly invite Bear to the stream in case he gets back from whatever it is he's doing. So 1 second. See, I told you, I'm all over the place here. I am exhausted. Taunted. Okay, come on. You can do it. Here we go. All right. Send. And let's get back to the show here. All right. So Bear's been invited. So whenever Bear decides he wants to hop on, he can come talk. Can't go wrong with LA Knight. You know, Jey Uso, I guess, was already a star, being a 14-time or 13-time tag team champion. But as far as like, if this is just single star, LA Knight's definitely a great choice. And having these be recorded, the acceptance speeches prior to WrestleMania weekend is a bit much for me too, because I don't know when Rhea for Match of the Year accepted her award, but she looks different. I mean, her hair's a different length. You could tell she was backstage in the Judgment Day kind of lounge area, clubhouse, whatever they're calling it. It would have been nice if they would have recorded it WrestleMania weekend, and it would have been a little bit more than LA Knight in the hallway. So Flair Rhea, Match of the Year, LA Knight Breakout Star of the Year, NXT Star of the Year. Your nominees were Braun Breaker, Melo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Lyra Valkyria, and Tiffany Stratton. And Tiffany Stratton takes home the Slammy, and she was there. She was present. She was live at the Slammy. She came out, and it was Tiffy time on stage. She did the full Tiffany Stratton gimmick, and one of the gentlemen from, I think it's Impractical Jokers, was there on stage with her, and they had a little back and forth. It was fun to watch. Tiffany's always so entertaining, and yeah, Tiffany Stratton definitely deserved to win. I have no complaints, because you can make the case that Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes have been the breakout star for the last 2 years, and Ilya, not sure if Ilya would have won it last year, but definitely Tiffany Stratton. I definitely liked that pick in terms of the slam. So rivalry of the year, you had Dom and Ray, you had Roman versus Cody, you had Bianca versus Damage Control, which is a sneaky good selection. Seth versus Drew, and R-Truth versus the Judgment Day. I mean, there is no other rivalry besides Roman Cody. The fact that we are on this 2-year-long journey for Cody versus Roman, and to get to Roman the first time to main event WrestleMania, then to work his way back to Roman the second year, to tonight, to the main event of WrestleMania again, his third main event in 2 years, which is remarkable, and Roman's 9th. There was no other selection. And I like the Bianca versus Damage Control. That's been going on prior to like War Games and for the last year. It's a great choice. But Roman Cody really was the only one. And there's not even a close second. Damage Control and Bailey, probably the other. You also had Fan Chant of the Year. And that one was LA Knight. And these were the ones that were kind of, they had announced them previously. They weren't announced like during the actual Slammies. It was the video. So I was trying to like keep track. Fan Chant was LA Knight. I mean, it wasn't the fan sing-along section, right? It was the fan chant, the yeah chant. Probably the most popular of the fan chants right now, right? Like, yeah, it's like similar to the what chant and whatnot from Stone Cold. The mic drop moment, obviously Paul Heyman. Is there anybody better on the mic than Paul Heyman? No, definitely not. And then the villain of the year, Dominic Mysterio, excellent choice. He truly is probably the top heel in the company. And that says a lot for the type of heels that we have going on in WWE right now. But Dom was picked as a villain of the year. The faction of the year, another one that really surprised. To me, it's Judgment Day and Damage Control. I don't think, babyface factions probably never win this award, probably never should win this award. They had Alpha Academy, the Bloodline. The Bloodline could definitely win Faction of the Year every year. But Judgment Day, they really dominated Monday Night Raw. They've been at the top of Monday Night Raw for the last 12 months. No arguments here. Feels like, Michael Cole's wearing a normal suit tonight. Okay. The highlight of the night was the Social Star Award with the interaction between Drew and Chelsea Green. And once again, Chelsea Green just being super effing entertaining. Unbelievable how entertaining she is. But Drew wins Social Star. His social media game is on fire. I definitely don't think Nia Jax also and Tiffany Stratton, them two together, but also separately. But definitely, I don't know if Nia was even nominated. It was going so fast I couldn't keep track, and I probably could find the nominees. But Drew definitely, his social media game is on fire, and his interaction with Chelsea Green was awesome. And also, Drew making reference to the fact that Chelsea Green was banned from a hotel because she was dressed like an escort, and they didn't realize she was a WWE superstar still in her gimmick outfit, and they didn't let her back in the hotel because they thought she was an escort, which he goes, if you don't stop, I'm going to escort you out of here. And that definitely got a rouse out of the crowd in attendance because that was freaking hilarious. And she just kind of stood there with that scowl on her face, like, that attitude that she has. And then she ended up running away with Drew's Slammy Award. So that was by far the most entertaining moment of the night. Male Star of the Year, it was Gunther, Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. Go ahead, pick. Go ahead and pick. You can pick any one of them. Cody right now, obviously the top baby face in the company. But yeah, go ahead, pick. It's a push-up for me. I don't think there was a betting favorite on the Male Star of the Year. You can go. All of them have had unbelievable years in WWE. So go ahead, pick. Female Star of the Year, Bianca, Becky, Rhea, Io, and Bianca, I think, right? Am I reading? Man, my handwriting. Bayley, Bianca, Becky, Io, and Rhea. And Rhea's had the best of all of them, the best year imaginable, the most dominant year of any woman in a long time, probably since one of Charlotte's many title reigns. So Rhea winning Female Star of the Year. Rhea did well. Rhea and Cody cleaned up, for sure. They were the big winners, They were like Oppenheimer in the Barbie movie at the Oscars, They definitely cleaned up. So, and we had two more. The oh my God moment. And, the last two were CM Punk. CM Punk came out, accepted the oh my God moment. Punk returning in Chicago after War Games at Survivor Series. And, yeah. They had Ray punching Dom for the first time, father punching his son, Io cashing in, which was not an oh my God moment. Money in the Bank contract winners normally cash in at Money in the Bank. It's just something that they do. Damage Control turning on Bayley was an oh my God moment, but we knew it was coming. You could tell. So I don't know if that was really oh my God. It was just a matter of when, not if it was going to happen, or oh my God, I can't believe it happened. And then Rock slapping Cody probably to me was a clear-cut number two. At that point, we thought we were getting Rock Roman. And then Cody came out and kind of threw a monkey wrench in that, and that kicked off everything we've seen since the kickoff event in Vegas. So that to me was a clear-cut number two. And then the return of the year. God, my head. My pen didn't work. So Punk won the return of the year. I don't think, and I think because of the element of surprise, to be honest with you. But Rock returning like in almost a full-time capacity is a real surprise. We knew Orton, injury returns, they're coming back, because if Orton wasn't coming back, you would have heard that he was retiring. He would have came out, cut a promo or whatnot. Punk was the surprise, right? As far as the Slammies being on at 10:30, I really like the idea of the Slammies being on at WWE World, but no award show. Like, they have to do better. For the simple fact that it felt discombobulated, it felt really confusing. But all in all, it was fun to watch. Look, you know what? I've been on WWE YouTube channel since WWE World started. I've watched every interview, every fan segment. WrestleMania has been exhausting with all the content that WWE is putting out. But definitely need to up the value of the Slammies, make it feel more meaningful, do it in a manner in which the superstars who win are there. So doing it maybe that Thursday or that Friday prior to the real, doing it on the morning of night 2 after a lot of these superstars just went through the grind the night before. Probably not the best selection of when to do it, but you can also do it the Raw after. I used to enjoy them doing the Slammies on the Raw after or on a Monday Night Raw. But the idea of them doing it at WWE World was a good idea. I just think the selection of the day and the time should have been a more prominent event at WWE World. There was nothing happening television-wise Thursday night. So you could have made it an Oscar-style event, a Grammy-style event where the superstars were there. At least the winners could have been there in the back and accepted their awards instead of seeing pre-recorded from a week or two prior to WrestleMania. But overall, Slammy's a great night. We are getting part 2 of the Triple H interview. So we're going to, how about the new WWE headquarters? Whew, what a campus that is. I wonder how many wrestling rings WWE owns. I really, really do. So right now, the first question is about CM Punk. Really, like a lot of rehash stuff this week. Oh boy, we've been going over the same stuff over and over and over again. People still are on the whole Vince McMahon lawsuit thing. People still want to know about AEW and Punk's interview with Ariel Helwani. Like, hopefully the focus for the next few hours, because wrestling social media is all about the video release of the All In footage. And hopefully when Bear jumps in, we'll be able to talk about that stuff. Because I definitely have some opinions on that. Interesting press conference last night. The Roman asking the female reporter to leave was fascinating. Roman probably still in gimmick, probably still in tribal chief mode, but most definitely not interested in being at a press conference last night. Don't know why. Don't know for what. But the whole asking the female reporter to leave, hopefully that was set up and planned and they didn't just embarrass whoever that was asked to leave. Definitely unusual for a WWE press event. All right, Triple H saying that this is a completely different CM Punk is a stretch. What has changed? Like, that's interesting. That is very interesting for them to say this is a different CM Punk. Like,
certainly has feelings about CM Punk. We know Drew will take on Seth Freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight title with CM Punk on commentary. There's been a lot of drama between these three men. From your perspective, what is the dynamic?
There's a lot of history there. Seth Rollins and CM Punk might not be the biggest fans of each other. I think there's respect there. I don't think they're the biggest fans of each other. CM Punk has a lot of water under that bridge too. In my opinion, the dynamic of that match completely changed when they both decided that CM Punk on commentary was.
We're just days away from WrestleMania, but the rest of 2024 is just as busy. What can fans look forward to most about 2024?
I couldn't be more excited and motivated, not just by the athletes, but by the people that I work with on a day-to-day.
kind of just listening if we get anything interesting from this second part of Triple H's interview, the question is about what can we expect for the rest of 2024. You know, he's mentioned many times, oh, this is a new era.
Not really. This is nothing wrong with it. It's not broken. It's not. Yeah, it's just the greatest form of entertainment in the world. But we all together, what we love so much in terms of going into WrestleMania next year. I think it's going to feel like a whole new place. That's.
Oh, that's big. So Hunter just said that going into WrestleMania next year, it's going to feel like a whole new place. See, it's those little bit, like those little tidbits of information that you get from them. You're like, all right, the wheels are spinning on what they're doing, and it's really exciting. When he says something like that, you kind of wonder, like, what does that mean? You know, as far as like talent and storyline and production, because the production has kicked it up several notches. The production for WWE has gone through the roof. The locations that they're traveling to, the global aspect of all their PLEs, there's a lot of positives. But when he's been very clear. He's been very adamant and very confident, very almost, you know, cocky in the declaration of this is a new era for WWE. And, you know, not that it has a name and not that it should be given a name while we're in it. But there's big expectations. There's big hopes. There's big time goals happening with Hunter and what's going on with WWE right now. They know they're hot.
The show was already well underway.
They get it.
This is the first time I saw it. I didn't know that was going on. It's very honest. So you're a little bit too simple. This is all heavy. This is all emotional. Being here, being injured.
Punk always saying the right things, right? All right, so we kind of went over the Slammies. Just to kind of reiterate, Sunday morning of day 2 of WrestleMania, probably not the best time. They need to make this feel a little bit bigger. All these tape recordings from prior to WrestleMania weekend, probably not the best idea. And, you know, WWE World on a Thursday, where everyone's kind of getting there, and the superstars, again, not knowing their schedules and whatnot, have the time. But the winners should be in attendance. Okay? Unless there is something unforeseen, the winners should be in attendance. And this should really be made to feel like a bigger award show than it was on a Sunday morning at 10:30. So that's it for the Slammies. To kind of revisit some of the things from last night, I went back and rewatched the press conference. It was 50-50 for me. You know, the Becky Rhea, shout out to Becky, again, hearing that she was sick, that she had 102 fever. She went out there, she performed at an incredibly high level. The Gunther-Sammy match, to me, really salvaged the night for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the presentation of that match and the story that they told leading up to that match. And obviously the main event, the biggest main event tag team match of all time. But it was that middle part of night 1. And, you know, as I peruse wrestling Twitter, people talking about the crowd, I've been to 2 open-air stadium manias. And being there versus watching it on TV, the crowd noise, you don't hear it on TV like you do when you are present. And yes, I've sat down bottom in the lower bowl, and I've sat up top at Camping World Stadium. The big moments, right? So WrestleMania 33, the one here at Camping World where the Hardys returned. There was a lot of dead moments during that. You don't get it. But when the Hardy music hit, the upper deck of Camping World Stadium shook. For WrestleMania 29, there was also a lot of dead moments. You know, Undertaker had one of the coolest entrances I've ever seen. And you don't feel it in an open air stadium. So for people to be like, oh, the crowd, no, look, when you put 65, 70,000 people in, It's different than an arena. The greatest crowd I've ever been a part of was the Raw after WrestleMania 29, where we fandangoed for 3 hours and Dolph Ziggler cashed in, and the upper deck of the Izod Center shook like crazy. Thought we were going down. Okay, so put a roof on all open air stadiums and notice the difference. Watch WrestleMania 32. Next year, if the rumors are true, they're going to M&T Banks. No, that's Baltimore. The one in Minnesota where the Vikings play. When they close the roof and you hear the noise there, you can't really say that about, oh, the crowd was this, crowd was that. First of all, from what Chris told me, it was cold. And there was a wind that just chilled everything out. Listen, it's hard to be active in the cold. Okay. Football fans, they're bundled to the umpteenth degree to cheer like that. But being out in the cold, especially when you in Central Florida all the time, like Chris is, it's tough. So a lot of the discourse on the crowd is interesting. I will say this about night 2 compared to night 1. I don't know, all this talk of new era and we're taking this to a whole new level and all this stuff. I don't know what I was looking for. I don't know what I was expecting, but it felt like I was missing it last night. Becky Rhea ended plainly, like there was maybe missing the element of surprise. The biggest wow factor for me was the brainbuster that Slammy hit on Gunther off the turnbuckle, which I thought was a botched move, which may have been a botched move. It was missing something for sure. Watching it on TV, didn't think the crowd was much of an issue, but throughout the night, it was missing something. Really, it was. And I don't know what. I'm trying to put it in context to previous WrestleManias because the matches that needed to deliver, delivered. The matches that didn't deliver, to me, mainly, the one that I went back and I rewatched. So after watching the Slammies before taking a nap today, I went back and I rewatched Jay and Jimmy. And I was going through social media and someone, and I'm not sure who, I should find it and give them credit. They have the same skill set. They literally probably have the same exact move set. I think they legit both do the exact same moves, and there's not a lot of variety in what they do. So that might have been a great reason as to why that match to me fell flat. And I seen someone try to justify why. No, there is no justification for just trading super kicks. There is no justification for that. And if you're not going to have, and I'm not talking about like a Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr. Technical wrestling match, but you could have told a better story than that. You definitely could have told a better story. You could have broke out different, use chairs, use tables, do something. Give us something. Little disappointed in the amount of time that the women got. The 6 women tag got about 8-9 minutes, I believe. That wasn't enough for that match. Those 6 superstars deserved more time. Maybe if they didn't do 20-minute entrances for the main event, could have given the women another 5-10 minutes and maybe cut it down to 10-minute entrances and people can move. But that just goes along with, the biggest main event of all time, your top 4 superstars. I guess that's what you give them. And supposedly tonight's main event is being given 45 minutes. So just looking at the card, I'm going to assume that Lashley and the Prophets versus the Final Testament's not getting much time. And I'm going to assume that LA Knight and AJ Styles is probably getting 10-12 minutes tonight. And I'm sure if I go on X, I can find the match lengths because the script's already out in terms of which match is going when, and there's rumors that Seth and Drew are opening. I have it on good authority. Sources are telling me that Seth and Drew are opening, and that's only because Chris told me. I don't really have sources, but Chris is there. He knows people. He found out. So yeah, we're getting ready. So much I want to kind of go over. I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm excited. What else from last night really stuck out? Stuck out. No, it was I don't know. It's hard for me to put in words right now because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I feel empty about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting from the main event. Maybe I was expecting the chaos I assume we're getting tonight. I'm going to assume that the main event tonight is going to be the most overbooked match of all time. I can see it being an absolute Donnybrook. So they are previewing the triple threat for the U.S. title tonight, which I wonder how that match is going to go, to be honest with you. Logan Paul is much different than a Randy Orton. They work differently. They do different move sets. I can imagine there's going to be an amazing RKO spot at some point. So before we get into the matches, kind of seeing if Bear's going to jump in before I get into. Oh, I'm in a house with a 2-year-old and puppies, and the 2-year-old is looking for me. So the 2-year-old will come to me like last night. It was like, "Hey, I want to watch wrestling." And she's 2. She's like, "Watch wrestling with you?" And then no sooner as I go sit on the couch after night 1 pre-show here, and 3 minutes later she's screaming at me because she wants to watch Bluey or Bubble Guppies. So anytime a 2-year-old tells you they want to watch wrestling with you, don't buy it because it's a lie. They're lying. All right, they just want to watch Bluey and Bubble Guppies. All right. So before we get into the night 2 cards, we do have time. At some point last night during Collision, the Young Bucks announced that they were going to release the footage from the All-In incident between CM Punk and Jack Perry. Now, this is in direct response to CM Punk's interview on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, where he gave his side to the story of the All-In incident at Wembley, where Tony Khan later came out and said he feared for his life. So I got to be honest, I understand why they're doing it, and I don't blame them. I'm in for all the pettiness that will come between the 2 promotions and all the indirect and direct shots that WWE has been taking at AEW this week, which I find to be tremendous. I look forward to the things that AEW is going to do to take shots to WWE. I don't want to see any more of the rah-rah AEW speeches from a very pro WWE Hall of Famer in Edge. I thought that was horrendous. But in seeing a lot of the conversation around this All-In footage, if I'm AEW, I'm not putting it on my flagship show. That's for damn sure. I am most definitely not giving CM Punk that much credence. I'd release the footage to TMZ or something of that nature. I would send the Young Bucks on a podcast or some YouTube channel or on the Being the Elite YouTube channel, and I would release it there. The issue is this is such like a polarizing thing. You're either Team Punk or you're Team AEW. People are not, it seems that people are not able to look at this, that there's fault to go around. We have to pick sides, right? You can't be objective in anything. You have to pick a side, right? I really don't know how this will help AEW. I don't know what they think is going to happen. Maybe it's a quarter-hour spitings rate spike for AEW. We know how much Tony Khan loves to spike the ratings with these types of scenarios. But I'll say this. for those of us who, if you pick the side, right? If you're on CM Punk side and you're just going to hate on AEW for firing CM Punk because you're a big CM Punk fan, seeing this footage is not going to change your mind. It's just not. And if you are Team AEW and you are an AEW fan through and through, you want to see this footage so you can call BS on what Punk said to Ariel Helwani. I don't know how this is going to sway public opinion. I feel like in the internet wrestling community, the opinion has already been formed. You are either on one side or another. So I'm not quite sure what the Young Bucks, and this could all be a work. This could just be, having fun and them being the prick EVP gimmick that they're running right now. Could be a lot of that, but I'm not quite sure why on their flagship show are they going to give any more credence to their former employee than they're going to do if they show this footage. It really, for me, it makes little to no sense that they're doing this. I get it. They feel the need to respond, but respond in a promo. Go on a podcast. Find someone that you're willing to talk to and go share your story. Have Jack Perry go do it. Jack Perry, or have Tony Khan sit down for an interview on a major news network and talk about what happened. I know he's the owner of the company, he's the billionaire and whatnot, but it's you. You're the one who said you fear for your life. You go do it. Putting it on your flagship show, that's like, Edge or Jericho or someone going on Dynamite or Collision and talking junk about Triple H. Triple H airing something on Monday Night Raw between him and someone. It'll never happen. It just feels like a cheap attempt at ratings. And again, I don't know if they released this footage at all to begin with, that they even do this if they didn't think Punk was BSing on the MMA Hour when he told his side of the story. Maybe Punk is downplaying the idea of what happened. Maybe the footage will show something different, but on Dynamite, on your flagship show, yeah, I'm not with it. There are better ways. There are more shady and more petty ways to go about doing this than that. The Young Bucks were more petty against CM Punk and Kenny Omega and all them when all of this brawl out happened, and what they were doing in the ring to take shots at Punk. Not airing the footage months after the incident happened. You should have done it immediately. You should have capitalized on it 3 weeks, 2 weeks, a week after it happened. After Punk was gone, you should have done it then. If there's no NDA for this stuff, you should have done this at the beginning because you could have capitalized on it then. Instead, you send Jack Perry home. You don't let Jack Perry come back. Those are the reports. Punk then goes on to return at Survivor Series in November. And now you want to do it? I don't know. It could backfire to me. Then again, it could be such damning footage that people are going to be like, damn, Punk, you a liar. And it's going to make that entire interview lose credibility with people like me. Because I don't care. I don't care if Punk's a prick. I don't care if Tony Khan and AEW is looking for a cheap rating spike. I'm here for it. I love it all. I love the pettiness. I love the back and forth. So I can't wait. I'm a watch to see, and we definitely going to talk about it here on WrestlePool. But I would do it a much different way. It was up to me. And who does this hurt? You're not going to hurt Punk. Well, Punk fans don't care. Punk can do no wrong. See, the hardcore Punk fan, Punk can do no wrong. He is the monolith. He is Jesus. It's look who's here. What's going on, brother?
We're here. Hey, it's night 2 of WrestleMania, and we've got some amazing things ready to go. I'm in the hotel room tonight. I'm not at WrestleMania tonight. I'm watching it on TV.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Hold on. All right, Barry. Tell you what, I don't know what camera you have or whatnot, but you look what I always say this. He has wonderful skin.
Thank you, Mr.
Your
Hunter.
complexion is lovely. I look like I've aged 10 years since last night alone. All right, so
where are we
now
at?
that you rudely interrupted me there,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into night 2 because I was waiting for you.
I'm here.
kind of going over the news that they are releasing the all-in footage. I'm spending a few minutes waiting for you. Went over the Slammies. I think you should have produced it. You should have, because it really looked like the Lodi High School Audio Visual Club produced the Slammies.
Oh no! Oh no!
It wasn't
that's not
very good production-wise.
That's not.
So yeah,
I'm
late
gonna do
into
some
the
work
evening after night one, they not gonna lie, for a second there, it looked like you put yourself under a white sheet, having your head so close to that curtain. Look at that. What are you doing?
I'm grabbing some stuff so that I can put my camera, my phone on the tripod, so that I don't have to hold it and I can talk to you. But go ahead, I'm listening as you're chatting. Go ahead.
Your daughter's knocking on my door, by the way.
Of course she is, because she loves her pa.
She does, and I have a funny story to tell you about her. We'll do it here live because I think people will enjoy it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I agree with this. Thank you, House of Champions. Hi, guys. Chris, get it together. I'm with you on that one.
You know what, Renee? I will literally put you on
that was
screen,
Renee.
And I know you do not want to be on.
All right, real quick, Bear. Is she Queen Hawk? Is she the matriarch of the Hawk family? Like, what can we?
She's Mama Hawk. That's what we call her.
Oh, that's Mama Hawk. Don't you go? All right, so
She is Mama Hawk.
I was giving my opinion that I'm not sure why AEW would release this footage on their flagship show.
Okay, I got a hot take. Well, not a hot take, but I've got a take on this. As soon as ready, we're gonna do a little spin-a-rooney here with the phone. Ready? One, two. That was the worst ever. Oh, no. Okay. All right. I'm just doing stuff. All right. Hosier, put me backstage for a second. I'll come back in a minute.
All right. That's live technical work from the technical producer himself, Bear. So, yeah. And again, if you're watching this, if you're anywhere near WrestlePool and you're in Central Florida and you even consider wanting to learn how to wrestle, you need to go check out House of Champions in my favorite town in all of Florida, Longwood, Florida, baby. It's all about that Longwood, and you need to get there and you need to go check them out because they're unbelievable in what they offer. And me, I'm lazy. I would never try to go learn how to wrestle at 42, but I watch these young people a few times in their work, and they stream live shows and whatnot. So definitely go check them out. And right now, if you can see, it's a great view of Chris's thumb right now. What else is going on? There are a lot of rumors that, well, let's not click the wrong button here. Let's see what's going on. Tell you what, man, people will complain about anything on social media. Like, to complain to that level is remarkable. Oh, is he back?
All right.
There he is.
There we are. I've got like a little setup now. I've got my tripod. So now I'm like good to go. And I don't have to like hold my phone or anything like that. So we're here. And so we're talking about, first of all, House of Champions. Let me just explain real quick. House of Champions, Renee, as much as I love you, that was mean, and you should never comment on things again.
Showing it again because it's the truth.
That was mean. I don't appreciate it, even though House of Champions is responsible for my whole weekend here. But I don't appreciate it, Renee. Okay, with that said, let's talk about AEW releasing this footage. And here's the reason why. Because Tony Khan is a petty ass child. That is the only reason they are releasing this footage, is because Tony Khan does not have thick enough skin to hear some criticism about his company from a former employee where things ended very poorly. And so Tony Khan is just looking to be as petty as possible because he is just a petty ass child. That is the sole reason this is getting released. Because if that wasn't the reason this was being released, then why didn't you release it right after you had let CM Punk go? Why didn't you show it then?
Yep.
No, this is only to be petty, and it's also to try to steal a couple of headlines, a little bit of shock value, a couple of ratings points, with WWE having their biggest weekend possibly ever in the history of WrestleMania. That's the only reason. Tony Khan can't handle competition. He doesn't have a thick enough skin to handle some criticism. That's what is happening here.
And to piggyback off that, if Punk is lying and Tony Khan was really in fear of his life, he probably should have proved it right after it happened to show people that he wasn't just saying it for the sake of saying it, to try to justify why releasing Punk was the right answer. Like, you should have released it. But my point is, all right, if you're going to do this and you're going to be that petty, I wouldn't do it on your flagship show, because I wouldn't give CM Punk the time of day on your show.
Okay.
I would slide that into TMZ's DMs, or I would myself on the Being the Elite YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Release it there. Let Tony Khan go somewhere and make a big deal out of it as the, petty owner that we know and believe that he is.
Yeah. The one thing that I am more upset about, and because I kind of expected this from Tony Khan, but I'm more upset that there's no talent over there, i.e. the Young Bucks, a Bryan Danielson, a Chris Jericho, who are stepping up and saying, Tony, let's not do this. Like, hey, let's chill out. I will not give away too much here, but I've had the privilege of being here at WrestleMania this weekend, and I have gotten to see some really cool interactions between professional wrestlers from a distance. It's something that I've gotten to observe this weekend. Here's the deal. There is no tribalism. There is no hatred. There is no animosity between the professional wrestlers. I have seen WWE wrestlers, AEW, TNA wrestlers on the same stages together this weekend, or in places together this weekend, just hanging out, having that camaraderie of being part of this community as professional wrestlers on the biggest week and the biggest weekend for the professional wrestling industry. And this is the thing, right? Is like, the talent doesn't care about this stuff. The talent really doesn't. It's literally just Tony Khan. Because if you look at the WWE and Triple H and what they are doing, they don't care about it either. It is literally just Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer who care about this. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm upset that we're not seeing some of the talent step up and go, hey, let's pump the brakes on this a little bit.
I agree. No, and the tribalism is the fans, because we can't just enjoy both. You have to pick a side. Listen, I love the pettiness. WWE has taken countless shots at Will Ospreay, for one. Triple H on Pat McAfee talking about, hey, if you don't respect the grind, and if you don't want to grind, if you want to work less dates and whatnot, then I don't need you here. CM Punk asking The Miz if he was going to get the WrestleMania Night 1 attendance tattooed to him. Like, there has been, Pat McAfee saying to Rhea Ripley about going and working in AEW in front of 600 people, perceive the other company working in front of 600 people when her own husband works in front of 6. So there's been no shortage of pettiness from the WWE. You want to take shots, do it in the ring, do it in a promo, do it in different ways. Wear a shirt that takes a shot, wear something, hold up a sign like Eric Bischoff used to do, Vince fears Eric and whatnot. But this just has all the makings of a backfire, because we've made up our minds. Those of us who are not tribalistic in this, and we have preferences, but we're not crazy.
Right.
We don't care. If Punk's a liar, then that's on Punk. As long as Punk gets healthy and Punk comes back and feuds with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, we don't give a shit. Truthfully. It don't matter what happened. He's gone. He's where he wanted to be the entire time. He's tried to get there for a long time. So, okay, maybe a lot of people will watch. And maybe the people like Ariel Helwani who fish for this stuff and the Dave Meltzers of the world, you're 100% right, will feed into it. But it's ridiculous.
It is. It is ridiculous. And you know what? Like, at the end of the day, I learned something from an incredible marketing mind that I happen to know over this weekend.
I remind you of what that marketing mind said.
Yeah, I learned, and it's kind of in this realm of competition and people trash talking you, and it's this idea if AEW is really upset about what Punk said, my opinion is don't get petty. Let's not release this footage. You know what you need to do? Just be better. AEW, just go be better.
Yeah,
become the better option. That's it.
Yep.
If you just become the better option, then everything that Punk said, not only do you get to point at it and laugh at it, but you get to be like this. You get to prove Punk wrong in everything that he said. So just go be better. That's it. That's all. Why? Because you know what? If AEW tried that rather than all of this petty nonsense, if Tony Khan just tried to be better than the WWE rather than being different, if he just tried to be better, we as fans would have more wrestling that we are just dying to watch, and that is only a good thing. Having more good wrestling is only a good thing for us as fans. So you know what? Just go be better. That's
so wait a minute. You don't think Bryan Danielson versus the Blue Panther was good wrestling? Did you? All right. So enough with AEW. I wanted to talk about that footage. I'm glad you jumped on for that. So you were there last night.
I was.
And talk to me about your thoughts on night one. And then also your thoughts on the crowd for night one, because there's been a lot of criticisms of the night one Philly crowd, of it not being up to snuff for a Philadelphia crowd. So first your thoughts on the full card night one, and then about your thoughts on being in the crowd.
Here's my overall grade for night one. I'm going to go B+. There is something, I want to give it an A. Like, I really do. But I have this thing in my head that I'm just being biased because I was sitting in the crowd. However, looking at the matches and evaluating the matches, my opinion, I think we're on the same page here. Match of the night last night, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. 2 years in a row, my opinion, Gunther probably has match of WrestleMania.
That match at WrestleMania wasn't even nominated for Match of the Year for the Slammys, which was an absolute travesty.
What?
Not even nominated for Match of the Year. But continue. Yeah, exactly.
So that's probably match of the night to me. The one thing that was interesting, and I was thinking, and of course I get to say, oh, I was thinking this then, but I was sitting in the crowd kind of thinking this. I was like, wow, this crowd is kind of quiet. Like, it was not the Philly crowd that I was expecting. I expected like a lot more energy and a lot more noise. But I was like, wow, this crowd is kind of quiet. But there is a good explanation for that. And it's because we were freaking cold, people. Listen.
I said that.
Listen, and they were putting they said it was 52, felt like 47. No, it was 32, felt like I had like my testicles were in my stomach cold. Like, it was bad. It was cold, okay? We couldn't be loud. Here's the hope. Here's my hope. I've been outside today. We just came back to the hotel room. We were at Mojo Rawley's Tail Goat all day. So we got to see a bunch of people out there. It was much warmer today outside than it was yesterday.
Yeah, the sun is out. Wait till that sun goes down.
Yes, I am waiting for that. But so I'm hoping that maybe the fans will be a little warm. Also, fans are probably more prepped for tonight to stay warm than they were yesterday. So hoping that fans are going to stay warm and be warm, and we can get some of that energy. But I will say, like, in the crowd, it did kind of feel like the crowd's a little quiet, but I think we had a good excuse. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And so you give it a B+. So What was the disappointment for you to not give it an A?
Number
Don't tell
one,
me because you were cold.
other than other than being cold. Number one, I felt like the trios match, Jade, Bianca, and Naomi versus the Kabuki Warriors, Damage Control, Kabuki Warriors, and Dakota Kai was way too short.
Yeah,
I felt like it was way too short. We didn't get enough time with that match, and for what that match was supposed to be, I understand why they did it, and I kind of appreciate it because we didn't get to see Jade Cargill in that match. Jade Cargill came. Let's be honest. Bianca and Naomi did the work in that entire match.
Yep.
Jade Cargill came in at the end and played the hero and won, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with them protecting her still in not putting her out there if she's really not ready. However, if she's really not ready, we can wait. I would much rather wait for Jade to be ready to go in the ring because she has such a presence and can be such a major star that I don't want her wrestling to be bad. I really need her wrestling to be good so that we don't get these internet trolls being like, oh, Jade Cargill can't wrestle. She just looks good. Well, give her some time. But that was a little disappointing that we didn't get enough time with that. The ladder match I had higher hopes for. And also, I am not a fan. I know that you were very happy yesterday when I said I think we're getting them split. I'm not a fan of splitting the tag titles. I wanted to keep them together. But I will say I got excited when they were when in the beginning of the match, both Theory and Grayson Waller climbed opposite ladders to take down both. And I was
I was like, oh God, Chris is going to call me immediately if that happens.
I was like, this is going to be like, okay, we're going to keep the titles together and then obviously they didn't do that type of finish, and I was kind of upset about that, but that's a personal thing. I thought Mommy and the Man was really good, but didn't live up to the hype of Mommy versus the Man.
Well, Becky supposedly came out with 102 fever.
She did. That is something that I can confirm. Becky was sick, very sick.
Yeah.
And so therefore, for them to go out and put on the performance that they did, even though Becky was that sick, amazing, great match, and really, but it could have. I feel like it could have been more. But with that said, so there were and then at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of the way that The Rock, Roman, and Cody Seth ended. I totally wanted Cody and Seth to win. Here's the thing is, I think this was the easy story to tell, or the easy way to tell this story of having the Bloodline Rules match and Rock and Roman winning last night. And now I wholeheartedly believe that Cody is going on tonight to finish the story and win.
Yeah.
And it's going to be an absolute melee and craziness. And it's just going to be person after person entering the match. I much rather would have seen Cody finish the story one-on-one versus Roman. That's it. I want that ending because that's the ending we were robbed of last year. Yep. And now it's the ending we're going to be robbed of this year again. So that's kind of why I gave it a B+.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's going to be so overbooked for tonight, but I have a feeling it's going to be a nostalgic masterpiece. I wouldn't be surprised if Cena and Stone Cold aren't there. Rumor Fightful is reporting that Jacob Fatu has signed with WWE.
I saw him last night while I was there. I did see him, so he was there.
Everyone's there now, whether or not he signed. So
correct.
There's rumors that Tonga has signed. So Lord knows. I heard an interesting theory of how it ends. Right.
Okay.
That The Rock doesn't cost. Well, I guess let's get into it because we're an hour away, right? So we're officially 1 hour away from the start of Mania. We're an hour into the pre-show, so let's get into tonight's main event. Let's go. I have all the matches here. We'll go from top to bottom. So I heard an interesting theory about the main event, how it closes. So Cody does finish the story. I would be flabbergasted if Cody takes the pin 2 nights in a row. And to me, that was the telltale sign that he's going over tonight. Is that he took the pin versus The Rock. So now Cody wins. However, it's overbooked. And then Rock versus Cody is going to happen for the belt at some point, in my opinion. But that The Rock doesn't cost Roman, right?
Okay.
Cody wins, melee. He's champ. He's up the ramp. He's spinning the belt. He's holding the belt. Fireworks. The camera pans back in the ring. Paul Heyman goes to give Roman what is that red thing called? The lay. I don't want to disrespect it by calling it a lay. And that as Heyman goes to give it and put it on Roman, The Rock stops him, takes it, and then walks out the ring with it. Or maybe says something along the lines of, you had everything in your favor and you failed. You're no longer the head of the table, and kind of wears it himself and goes out with his silly People's Champ belt.
Right.
So what say you about the main event?
I still think that I can see that being the way Rock turns on Roman. I think that Rock costs Roman the belt.
Okay.
I still think, because I think you play this part of, like, The Rock acknowledged Roman Reigns, but he is still the final boss.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's like, so I think Rock costs Roman the belt in the match, which, again, to me, I actually do prefer that theory over my idea of Rock costing Roman, because I don't want it to be able to be taken away from Cody. I don't want anybody to be able to say, hold on a second, Cody beat Roman, but it had to be in the bloodline rules, and somebody else had to interfere in order for him to win. I want Cody to beat Roman 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, no interference, no nothing. So actually that makes more sense, and that maybe makes the whole thing more palatable, because it makes Cody, there's not as much of that, oh, well, Cody needed help, right? Because The Rock can turn on.
It's going to be, it could be a 5-on-5 10-man tag match, because Lord knows who's coming out.
Right.
Because you got to figure Solo's The Rock, Jimmy. Right. If these rumors are true of who's signing and what a new bloodline might look like.
Right.
And because we're not getting Dustin, because he literally just challenged Samoa Joe for a title match.
Correct. On Wednesday.
So there's
on Wednesday.
Oh, it's okay. So so Dustin's out the question.
Right.
I've been saying I think they should empty the locker room to help end the bloodline, instead of bringing in Austin and Cena. But I guess when we've talked about how much fun it would be, the new era versus the old era.
Yeah.
Or is it a new era versus old? I don't know. It's going to be overbooked. It's going to be chaos. But I think both of us agree that Cody wins.
Yeah, Cody wins 100%.
So Roman doesn't beat the days held streak. He beats the main event streak. The main event, because this will be his 9th main event of WrestleMania.
In a row?
No, 9. Well, he started, his first WrestleMania was our first WrestleMania. That was the Shield's first. That was Roman's first WrestleMania. So from 29 to 40, he's main evented 9 WrestleManias, and 2 just this weekend. Yeah. So he is now number 1 all time in WrestleMania main events, and he'll be top 4 all time upon losing tonight in terms of consecutive day streak. So not bad if he goes away for a little while and can hang his hat on that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but here's my question in all of this. Are we all a little too sure of this now? Are we all a little too positive about this?
About
we all
Cody
sitting-
winning?
Yeah. Are we all sitting here going, it has to happen, it has to happen, it has to happen, right? Like, are we setting ourselves up for something real bad tonight?
I am not, and I've said it. I can see Roman winning. I can. Like,
we shouldn't rule it out.
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm like 60-40. To see Cody get pinned twice in consecutive nights of Mania, that's going to be hard to recover from.
Talk about hard times, though.
You've said that.
Talk about hard times.
You've said that could be the story. I mean, you said this when we first started talking about Mania prior to the Rumble, that you said, the Dusty Flair 3 times thing is real.
It's real.
I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do they have the courage to do it? Do they have, because like you said, how do you come back from that? Here's the only way, in my opinion, Cody comes back to that. He becomes the first man ever to win Royal Rumbles back to back to back.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm not opposed to any of it. That means Roman's working double duty next year again.
Yeah. I mean, like,
that means because Rock Roman's going to happen at WrestleMania 41 unless there's some unforeseen schedule thing with The Rock.
Right.
I think you can pretty much pencil in Rock versus Roman.
Right.
Somehow, some way, if Roman retains, because Roman losing and them saying, no, wait, you had everything in your favor and you lost. Maybe that's too easy to assume that that's going to happen. But yeah, then you're asking Roman, or maybe Cody wins.
Right.
Survivor Series. I keep using this Madison Square Garden thing. I'm just like, how fitting would it be?
Right. Yeah, I
of him winning it the 3rd time at the Garden, where his father had the belt taken from him. Like, it would have been cool if this time was at the Garden.
Right.
And we thought Cody won and the belt was taken from him to kind of mirror, but I don't know.
We still don't know where WrestleMania is next year, correct?
I think it's pretty much guaranteed it's Minnesota, because there's like video of the state council or whatnot talking about the tax credit they're giving WWE and whatnot. It's like a $5 million tax something.
Okay.
Levy or break, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. Cleveland did the same thing. There's video of the politicians talking about it. So,
right.
Which I'm sure they'll announce tonight.
I'm hoping so. I am very much hoping so. And that's a real quick tangent here. Really interesting little fact about the era. Triple H came out last night and said, we're in a new time, we're in a new era, right? But it also feels like in that new time and in that new era, we've kind of gone back to some old traditions. One of them being, we knew LA and Philadelphia well before WrestleMania. Those WrestleManias happened last year, right? Like, we knew LA well before, like, the WrestleMania before it had happened. And so we're going back now. It used to be, I mean, years prior, was that we didn't find out about the next WrestleMania until WrestleMania. And it looks like we're going back to that now. And that makes me happy, actually. I really like that we get that announcement.
Me too. If you want to plan, you want to know a few years out where it's going to be. But yeah, I'm with you. All right, so we both have Cody.
I'll be right back. I'm coming right back. Don't move. Stay there. Hold on. I'm coming right back.
Well, now I feel bad talking because now I can't move. But I don't know if he meant like, don't move out of my chair. Don't. So pretty surprising that he had the same opinion of the crowd that a lot of the IWC had. And that it wasn't the type of crowd that I guess, maybe oh, he's back. So I don't have to do my spiel about the crowd. There he is.
I'm back.
I see that.
Okay, sorry. I had to plug. We've got my computer hooked up to the TV, and it was dying. I needed to plug it in because we're watching the pre-show right now. So
yeah, so am I. Sammy's kissing his wife. Yeah,
Sammy just kissed his wife on our pre-show. You seem to be behind us.
Yeah, I am. All right. So the opener, as you have confirmed, that Seth and Drew are opening. What do you think?
My opinion is 1000% Seth loses this belt tonight. I just think, as much as I love Seth and I never want to lose Seth Rollins, like, I think it's time. We just need Seth to go get better. Like, I need Seth to heal.
Yes.
And Seth has Seth has done absolutely everything to elevate that title, to make it something that's worthwhile to watch for. It has truly been a the working man's title, the workhorse title, because that's what Seth Rollins is. But Seth, it's time to pass that to somebody else for a little while. Just go get healthy and come back. Because a healthy Seth Rollins is better for all of us.
I agree. Yeah.
So I do think it's Drew's night.
I think it's Drew's night. Care to share anything about Drew's entrance?
No.
No? All right.
I know nothing.
Chris has got a lot of interesting information coming out of WrestleMania that he won't share.
Not true.
He'll share with me off camera. I'm with you. It'll be fun to see Punk's involvement in all this. I think these three in a triple threat is going to tear down the house when everyone's healthy. But I'm with you. Drew's winning tonight. I can't see it any other way. The only thing is Damian Priest in that briefcase now that he's no longer tag team champs. And how does he insert himself into this? Because there's been so many good memes about Seth Rollins being down and out and Damian Priest not cashing in. And just how much they've been trolling Damian Priest has been tremendous. But yeah, I think we're both in agreement that Drew wins. It'll be fun to see Punk's involvement as he's still on the pre-show, spinning around in his chair.
Listen,
and the fact that they're going to give this match 30 minutes, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Also, here's my thing about CM Punk. We keep saying this, and CM Punk, whatever happens with the Tony Khan stuff, the man is in WWE and he is just having fun.
Oh
and
my God, is he having a blast?
This is the best form of CM Punk, when CM Punk is just there and he's having fun and he's just enjoying himself and he doesn't have the stress of the BS that he gets himself involved in and kind of follows him. This is the best version of CM Punk, so I'm happy that
got to be on his best behavior now.
Yeah, I know. So with that said, here's a hot take for you, maybe. I think this is possibly the way we go with the Damian Priest stuff. Drew McIntyre beats Seth Rollins. Damian Priest cashes in on Drew McIntyre immediately afterwards and wins the belt from Drew. Which the reason I think that's a good move is because Drew is in this spiral. He is the savior of WrestleMania. He is just spiraling down into the Scottish psychopath. And what more than kind of being like the straw that breaks the camel back of, like, you know, because the one thing that Drew is, you know, I'm going to win the title in front of people and I'm going to carry the title in front of people. And now you take that away from him immediately. It's just like, you're just going to absolutely break him. And it's going to be fun to watch Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, especially with all of their history around, you know, Survivor Series and War Games and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be fun to watch that happen while both Punk and Seth Rollins are rehabbing. And then we can kind of go back and forth, seeing all of that, you know, all of that go down. So that's what I think happens tonight. I think Drew McIntyre wins, but then Damian Priest is going to come out, cash in, and take that away from Drew immediately.
I can see that. And then the flip side would be Punk costs Drew.
Yeah.
Priest cashes in on Seth.
That could, yeah, I can see that as well.
You know, the opposite. And it's got to do something with that damn briefcase, because he didn't cash in last night on Slammy. Like, you're not going to cash in on Cody. That would be ballsy of Triple H to do that. Billy may riot if you send him down. Like, the crowd might be dead, but you go ahead and ruin this moment, and you're going to see the Cody Crybabies unite with pitchforks.
Philly riots after their team wins the Super Bowl. I can't imagine what they would do if that happened. I'm just happy that I'm bunkered down in a hotel room and not having to deal with it.
When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they greased the light poles and the telephone poles so that people couldn't climb them. All right, so the triple threat for the United States title.
Yep.
How many days? Well, before we get there, how many days has Roman to break the all-time record? Chris, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for watching. I think he's got to go to sometime to 2028 to break Bruno Sammartino's record. Chris, the Hogan record would be broken sometime in September for him to be top 3 all time.
I think it's September of 2028. I think it's the same time frame, September of 2028.
So the triple threat for the U.S. title. I was saying earlier, and just kind of because I saw the graphic, I have all the graphics up on the screen. It's going to be really interesting to see Logan Paul and Randy Orton work, because talk about a juxtaposition of styles in the ring.
Yeah.
Having them 2 one-on-one would have been fascinating, but I think Kevin Owens is kind of the glue that's going to hold this together, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Because Kevin Owens can do the Logan Paul stuff, and Kevin Owens can also do the work Randy Orton the way Randy Orton is going to work. I'm going to call it. I think we're going to see an all-time RKO moment.
I am okay. Here's the question: the greatest RKO of all time, in my opinion, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton.
That one and the Evan Bourne one.
Yes, but I do like the Seth Rollins one better because he comes off of Orton's back. Do you think that we see a moment bigger than that with an RKO tonight?
I do.
Interesting.
I think Logan Paul is dead set on creating a viral moment of taking an RKO of that nature. And Lord knows Logan Paul's entire team. Speaking of Logan Paul, I'm not going to lie, I'm not very impressed with the scope of the Prime logo in the middle of the ring. I didn't even notice it.
No, it's very not noticeable.
Yeah, and they didn't do enough. The Prime hydration station is brilliant. I love the fact that became a weapon in some of the matches, that they just had random WrestleMania 40 Prime bottles in the corner over by the Spanish announce table. Oh, and another one that if I can find, there was a camera shot during Jey Uso's entrance, and he's there doing it. And one of the Spanish announcers is sitting there, and you just see the Spanish announcer yeeting with Pat McAfee, which I thought was hysterical. Yeah. That match.
Interesting little tidbit about that. Lil Wayne, I don't know that Lil Wayne was actually supposed to follow Jay to the ring. Because as Lil Wayne is going down the ramp, all of a sudden you see 2 really big dudes running down the ramp after him. And I'm like, oh, there goes Lil Wayne's security trying to chase him.
And Samantha Irvin, hopefully she was paid well to call him the greatest rapper of all time, because she needs to pump the brakes.
I'm not going to lie. When I heard her say that, I went, oh, Mike's not happy right now.
I immediately was like, what the hell is that? I can think of 10 that are better than Wayne. But anyway, so we both think Logan Paul's winning.
Yeah,
right?
I do.
I don't imagine a cash in on the United States title, but it would be interesting. But I think we're both in agreement.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why, especially because SummerSlam's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see Logan carry the U.S. title into Cleveland.
Yeah. So then we got the women's title, the WWE Women's Championship, Io versus Bayley. I'm a little disappointed in the lack of respect Bayley has gotten in the lead up, especially during this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, almost non-existent.
I'll tell you right now, from everything that I've experienced at WrestleMania this weekend, there has been very little talk of Io and Bayley, and which only makes me feel as though Bayley's about to go off. Bailey's gonna walk out there with a massive chip on her shoulder because of this, and she's about to possibly steal the show.
I hope so.
Because especially with
you
Io,
got to do better for the. And I understand like the kickoff show. It was only for the Saturday matches and whatnot to get everyone excited, or that was done on Saturday or Friday. I don't remember when. But you can't put Io on the stage and cut a promo. She kind of is being produced like Shinsuke was produced during his recent run of having major moments. So it'll be very good to see. I hope she comes down, and I hope she steals the show. It's going to be hard to steal the show when you have Logan Paul, KO, and you have Seth and Drew. But I am so hopeful for this match. I'm so hopeful that Bayley gets that moment.
Yes.
And I hope Mercedes Moné is in attendance to support her friend, because Bayley's taking heat for being a WWE person going to big business to support her friend. So there better be photos of Mercedes being in attendance tonight. But
I agree.
So we're pretty much in agreement there too.
100%. 100%. I want to see Bayley get this win. I want Mercedes there. And yeah, I couldn't agree more with anything you just said there. So let's go, Bayley.
The last two, we have LA Knight, AJ Styles. Yeah, I mean.
So real quick on LA Knight and AJ Styles, I was not there at WWE World for the scuffle that happened.
They had a kerfuffle.
They had a little kerfuffle. Some people feel as though it was very real for some reason, because AJ walked away with a bloody nose. And apparently the way that it happened was it didn't feel...
It looked weird.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
And maybe not worked or, staged enough. So that's why so it'll be interesting to see what these two do tonight. But I mean, listen, AJ Knight and AJ Styles, AJ Knight
and LA Styles, baby.
Listen, I'm exhausted. LA Knight and AJ Styles, you can't take away anything from them. They are incredible in the ring. It's just now they just need to go down there and have a great match.
That's it. Yep.
It's very simple. Who wins? To be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know that I really care either.
I just want to see a good match. This is a moment where both of them deserve to have.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not getting more than 10, 12 minutes based on some of these other matches, because there's one less match tonight than there was last night. But this one and then the one we're going to talk about next, probably not going to get a lot of time. Because then again, LA Knight matches really don't get a lot of time, period. So
correct.
I don't see AJ having a classic with LA Knight in the ring.
No, I much rather would have seen Okada.
I would have rather seen a lot of people here in this spot versus AJ Styles. And then lastly, we have Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament. So this one will probably separate. This will be before the main event, right?
You think so?
This will be the bring it down match.
Yeah, I can see that. Because this is going to be as much as I hate, I don't want the Street Profits or Karrion Kross or AOP. Bobby Lashley, I'm not, we've talked, Bobby Lashley, I kind of don't care about. I don't have any reason to.
I agree.
I care about Bobby Lashley because he's with the Street Profits. But yeah, I kind of want to, that's the thing is I hate to see them in this position, but this is where we are. I got to see the Street Profits and Lashley at Wale Mania. Wale, woo. Okay, Wale Mania. I don't know.
You did it right.
I did it right? Okay, I did it right. This way. Wale Mania.
Funny.
It was cool. Tez was fired up. But yeah, I'm just, it's gonna be it's just they just need to go have a good match. That's it.
That's all. And Montez needs to ditch both of them and become a single star.
That's ridiculous, though.
What? Come on.
No. Street Profits. The Street Profits need a proper tag team title run.
Well, now they can do that because there's 2 sets of tag titles.
And
Okay?
they can do that because they do the tag titles.
Oh no, don't worry.
Or,
Tonight,
they need a proper trios title.
there we go. I was just gonna say it. Hunter's gonna go out to the ring tonight with 3 belts. He's like, "Welcome to the trios era. I am the game."
Do you want you good there? You all right? You okay?
All right, so that's it. That's Mania in a nutshell. No, this is me in a nutshell.
That's Mania in a nutshell. I think. Listen, they said that, and Hunter's been very vocal that this was going to change everything. This WrestleMania was going to change everything. One thing that everybody should take notice of, I don't know, you haven't texted me about this, and so, but everybody should take notice of this, folks. Last night, they debuted a new Then Now Forever.
I know, with Hunter's voice.
And what did it look like to you, Mr. Hosier?
Marvel.
It looked like Marvel.
Yeah.
Understand how the WWE thinks of themselves. They do not think of themselves as a wrestling company. As much as professional wrestling is their content, they are a movie studio. They are creating live movies every single day with real life superheroes, and that's what they're doing. It looks like Marvel. And it's going to continue
like
to look
it was
like
Infinity
that.
War and Endgame rolled into one opening credit scene.
Yep. And here's what I will say. Here's what I will say about some information that I have gotten. This is not the end, folks. We're just in the season finale. This is the season finale. This is not
and that's what WrestleMania
end.
always has been for WWE. Yep.
This is so. All of this going on with The Rock and Cody and Roman and everything, this story, Cody may finish the story tonight, but this story is nowhere near over. Yeah. I saw Paul Heyman got asked by Chris Van Vliet in the press conference last night what inning we're in.
There were some awkward moments there between Heyman, Roman. You hear your puppies?
I hear the puppies.
They asked a female reporter to leave. They completely dissed Van Fleet, which I was stunned. They were like, nah.
They were like, we're not doing this. But he didn't answer. But if he did answer, I believe that they would have said that they are currently in the 4th inning. I think that they're looking at this of being this is like the ending of the ending of the start, the beginning of the, it's not the beginning of the end. It's like the ending of the beginning. Yeah. This has a lot to go, and just buckle up for the ride that Uncle Rock is going to take us all on. So. Yeah,
no, the production value, like even I'm watching this kickoff. This is much different than traditional kickoff shows that we're getting. Is that a chair with a screen in it?
They've got a selfie chair. Yeah.
All right. I have jokes, but we're gonna keep this PG. No, I'm with you. They are the amount of content. I swear to God, Chris, I've been glued to WWE's YouTube channel since Thursday afternoon. It's been literally nonstop. Like there's been so much stuff. Literally, WWE World is Comic-Con for professional wrestling.
It really is. It really, like, and that's a big part of that is because Fanatics actually, so WWE has outsourced.
Michael Rubin worked with them. Yeah.
Yep, a lot of that to Fanatics, and now the people who run actual conventions like Comic-Cons and stuff like that are running WWE World, and that's what it looked like and felt like when I was there. the other day. Is it looks like and it feels like a Comic-Con.
And I think going forward, I had mentioned earlier about the Slammies being a bigger deal, but they need to start announcing future premium live events at WWE World, and they need to have bigger panels. And I think that's all coming. I think you hit the nail on the head with what they know that they are and whatnot.
It is. It is all of that is coming. Of course, we as fans want it all now.
Yes.
Instant gratification. But give them some time, and this is going to become. And that's why, even though I get into spirited debates with the one and only Mr. J.D. Stanley about this, my opinion is this era that we've now entered into with Hunter announcing it last night and in my opinion is already, but it will be solidified bigger than the Attitude Era ever was. I truly believe that this era right now will be looked at as the golden age of professional wrestling moving forward.
You might be right. You know how I feel about. And did you say you are right?
I am right. It's okay.
Yeah. I think it'll be bigger because I think the people running the ship right now are, I hate to say this, but much smarter than the people that were running the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
But I give the Attitude Era the benefit of the doubt because what it was birthed out of, which was the need to survive.
Right.
They had no choice. They didn't want to do that.
Right.
You go back to before that, there was still Isaac Yankem and Doink the Clown, and they were still very much old school. What's the reason for WWE to want, TKO sale? Like, this era is born out of the fact that they're a $9 billion entity, or is it just Hunter's desire to destroy the competition and leave no doubt that this is the stomp you out era because no one, regardless of what anyone else is doing, is, 3 levels below what we're watching this weekend.
I don't think that that's the mindset. I think that ready, and this might be a hot take, and this might be something that is like, I don't know, but I believe the people that are in charge right now, i.e. Hunter and his creative team, and as well as Nick Khan, have a bigger vision for what WWE can be than even Vince saw. And that's like Vince wanted to dominate the world. That's what Vince's vision was. I believe that Hunter and Nick Khan and this team at WWE right now has a much bigger vision of what WWE can be. And here's the thing, they know it really doesn't matter what other people are doing because it kind of goes back to that idea of just be better. They don't care. They're just going to be better. They will be the best option for anybody when it comes to this sports and entertainment, the world of professional wrestling. The WWE is the one and only place that anybody and everybody wants to be. Now, here's the thing. In my opinion, there is plenty of space for other organizations and promotions and companies to be able to do professional wrestling. AEW could be massive, but nobody is going to touch the WWE and what they're doing because their vision is just too big and they have the right people in the right places to now take them to that level.
Yeah, no, I don't have words right now to process what you just said, but yes, I think the vision is bigger. The goal seems to be to just, Hunter said it on the Pat McAfee show. We are in competition with ourselves. Like, the only ones that could beat us is us. Right. There's nobody that right now that could touch us in terms of what we're doing. And unfortunately, that's true. I love competition, but is there really, is there competition for the services of the performer?
Right.
Well, yeah, because you're offering something that you know, you're offering 1 day a week and you're offering
Right.
considerable dollars when you're a billionaire. Sure. But who are they? You know, I liken Triple H to the general manager of the Dodgers or the Yankees, you know?
Yeah.
Both in the ability to build an amazing roster, but also the development of future stars. Because, I mean, you look at this WrestleMania, this is NXT Black and Gold
Right.
through and through here, you know? So, I mean, what they're doing is, Lord knows what's going to, you know, we're going to turn on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. And it could be a completely different look and feel.
And I'll be with you for Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
Yeah, get ready because we're going to talk about our predictions for the next 12 months tomorrow.
Whew, that is going to be a lot. But
we should probably sit down and record something. This is us planning live here, folks.
There you go.
Before Monday Night Raw kicks off and we get whatever's next.
Yep. With that said, though, I'm excited. I'm excited for night 2. I can't wait for this because for the first time in a long time, I feel like this is so unpredictable. I don't know what's going to happen. We can sit here.
Will this entire event be solely judged based on the main events?
Yeah.
If this disappoints tonight, is this WrestleMania a failure?
If the main event disappoints tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that depends on I think that depends on what you consider a disappointment. If Roman and Cody go out there and deliver an incredible match, but Cody loses, people are going to be disappointed that Cody lost. But is WrestleMania a disappointment because Cody lost? I'm going to say no. Because as long as the match is incredible and we get something good out of it, then I'm fine, right? It's not a disappointment. Sure, I'm disappointed that we didn't get to see Cody finish the story, but that also means that I get another year of watching Cody try to finish the story, and I get more story out of this, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we as wrestling fans sometimes have to sit back and say, okay, we're not wrestlers. We're not promoters. We're not Triple H.
I just chokeslammed a 2-year-old this morning. I think I'm ready for the big time.
Listen, I've got a professional wrestling school for you to go to if you think you are ready for the big time. But
Did I remind you what that wrestling show said? That wrestling school said. So.
Hey, okay, yeah, no, different wrestling school. Different wrestling school in a different place.
Oh, one of the judges, right?
With that said, I'm gonna keep going here.
Oh,
anyway.
My funny story. So last night I finished, right? Your daughter is like, Pa, want to watch wrestling with you? Okay. Right? She said that to me, Pa, watch wrestling with you. I swear to God, Chris, it was almost, your wife is so smart. Let me tell you, your wife is very smart. And you can hear your wife under her breath. No, she doesn't. And I was like, but she said it. So I went out there. I swear to God, I got your damn remote control to work and I turned on WrestleMania. Complete work. She worked me to the core. She got me out there to watch WrestleMania. And I was like, oh my God, a 2-year-old wants to watch wrestling. It's working. And it was hysterical. But she sat there. She sat there. She sat there with me. She annoyed me. She put jelly bean goo on my face.
That's my daughter. She loves her pa.
She does. All right. So that's our pre-show because I need to get ready for WrestleMania.
That's right.
And there's nothing left to talk about tonight. We'll be back. Are you coming back for the post-show?
I believe because I have to go to the airport at 3:00 in the morning, so I might as well just stay awake.
That works for me. So I'll send you the link at some point.
All right.
All right, dude. You're the best.
Take us
Have
out.
fun.
Are we leaving?
Right. Yep. So this has been night 2. We'll see you once the ref counts 3. We'll be back here live during the press conference. For Bear, this is Hosier. This has been WrestlePool pre-show coverage. This is WrestlePool for life.